Now, there is also a real tension between letting agents be autonomous enough to be useful and keeping enough control to stay safe. Check and balances. How do organizations, even like Mirantis, actually balance that, allowing agents to do what they are capable of doing, what you want them to do, but also ensuring they only do what you want them to do, especially as agents are becoming more capable over time, especially because organizations want them to do more?
Well, I think it's kind of easy. So in order for us to have a good agent, so hallucination is still happening. So it has not disappeared, and of course it's getting better and better, and it's becoming better because the models themselves are just becoming so much more amazing all the time. If you compare the models what we had a year ago to the models that what we have today, it's like a night and day, the difference on their kind of quality of the responses and capabilities. But in essence, what the agents need, they need two things. They need connectivity to relevant data sources. So whether it's your Salesforce data, it's your financial data, it's your maybe some internal knowledge-based systems, whether it's a source code system, whether it's some production environment that you need to be monitoring or you want these agents to be interacting with. So it's all about managing connections, and then it's at the same time it's managing that what is the available toolbox that the agents are having at their disposal for actually doing something with those connections. So now, a very capable agents, you basically give them full freedom to basically even build those tools that they need themselves. If you give them a challenge, and they can create the tools that they need to accomplish the task. Even if they don't have the tools, they can be pretty good at figuring out how to solve different problems. And for that, of course, then you need to start restricting, okay, what kind of tools you can actually build, and how can you do that? It's a very it's not a deterministic system. Agents might do whatever. And for that, the only way basically you have to do it is that you need to control, for example, that what kind of software repositories you are giving these tools, or agents rather, access to go and install maybe some tools and libraries and etc. So when they are building their internal tools to accomplish a task, so they are less likely to have all kind of security vulnerabilities that might be trying to then do something bad with your production environments, for example. Another thing is that how do you manage then the secrets? Because every place in your internal systems, each one of the place needs to have the authentication. So you need to grant identities for your agents, and then they need to be authenticating to these external systems with their own identities. But in there as well, it's not so easy, because if you think about that the agent is compromised, it might be sending these secrets already to the third party, places where you don't want any information to be sent. So you need to develop a system where the secrets can be exposed to an agent while agent actually doesn't have any secrets at any moment in time. So and we are talking about the secret injections, and there are different strategies how this can be accomplished. So it's very difficult. Agents are fast, they are doing all kind of stuff all the time. We have to trust them. They are not malicious by nature, but you just need to put in checks and balances so that you as a human are still kind of on top of things, and you have all the controls in place so that the agents just don't go wild and do all kind of, things that you don't want. So it's a very, very complex topic, this whole governance topic for the agents.
Now, let's talk about Lens Agent, because that is the problem it's trying to solve. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, it is complex. So talk a bit about, when we look at Lens Agent, it's a unified platform that brings policy-driven governance to AI agents running anywhere across your environment. Talk a bit about how does it work under the hood.
Right. So basically we have two kind of major components in there. So first of all, We have been building our own sandboxing technology that is not based on this traditional container technology. So it's based on the micro VM technology, and we have also a supervisor, basically component that is watching all the time what is happening inside this sandbox, and every kind of data traffic that goes in or out from this sandbox, it's basically policy managed. And that's the kind of the one of the core components of this technology stack. So it's the sandbox that is a supervised sandbox technology. And this supervised sandbox technology we are providing as a platform, so enterprise can run multiple, tens or hundreds or thousands of these type of supervised sandboxes on their target environment. So whether they want to deploy these on-prem environments or whether they want to deploy these on AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, so they can leverage their hyperscaler capacity to run these sandboxes from there. So what we do is that we provide that control plane for centralized visibility, and all the audit trails and everything that what the agents are doing basically comes to our kind of central location for central IT governance. And that's the platform piece of the story. Kind of a side story to that is that we also do our own agent for those parties that might be still trying to figure out what kind of agent we should be running in our enterprise setting. So we make life and decision kind of slightly easier for those guys. They can take our agent, but at the same time, basically any agent, if you already have developed some agents or anything like that, so they run on top of this platform just fine. But you will gain all this visibility, governance, and control for all your agents.